Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all in today's history class. Today, we will start a new chapter Turkish invasions in North India. Before I introduce the new chapter to you, I want to share learning outcomes with you. At the end of the chapter, you will be able to explain the factors responsible for the invasions of Mahmud Ghazni on India and its effects. You will also be able to list the places invaded by Mahmud Ghazni in India. So, dear students, let us start a very interesting chapter, the Turkish invasions in North India. Let us watch a YouTube capsule first.
विदेश मंत्री के नाते मैं अफगानिस्तान गया था। आपको सुनकर ताज्जुब होगा। अफगानिस्तान के अपने मेजबानों से मैंने कहा मैं गजनी जाना चाहता हूं। गजनी। पहले वो मेरी बात उनकी समझ में नहीं आई। कहने लगे गजनी तो कोई टूरिस्ट स्पॉट नहीं है, गजनी में कोई 5 स्टार होटल नहीं है। गजनी में आप जाकर क्या करेंगे, गजनी में आप जाकर क्या देखेंगे? मैं उन्हें पूरी बात नहीं बता सकता। मेरे हृदय में कहीं गजनी कांटे की तरह से चुभ रहा है। जब से मैंने गजनी से आए एक लुटेरे की कथा पढ़ी है और किशोरावस्था में पढ़ी है, मैं देखना चाहता था वो गजनी कैसा है। आपको सुनकर ताज्जुब होगा, महमूद गजनी का अफगानिस्तान के इतिहास में कोई स्थान नहीं है। गजनी छोटी सी जगह है, छोटा सा गांव है। कल्पना करिए, सैकड़ों साल पहले वहां धूल उड़ती थी, झोपड़ियां थी, मगर एक लुटेरा लुटेरों को इकट्ठा करता हुआ सोने की चिड़िया को लूटने के लिए चला आया। आपस की फूट से जो राजा है वो लड़ेगा, जो क्षत्रिय है वो लड़ेगा। हमने समाज के बहुत बड़े वर्ग को लड़ने के अधिकार से वंचित कर दिया। हमने उन्हें हथियार नहीं उठाने दिए। मार्शल नॉन मार्शल के आधार पर हमने समाज को बांट दिया। वो लुटेरा सोमनाथ के मंदिर तक चला गया। पुजारी देखते रहे। मंदिर की पूजा भक्तों को करना पड़ती है। मंदिर तो एक प्रेरणा का केंद्र है। मैं देशपांडे जी की तरह से नास्तिक नहीं हूं, मगर उनकी नास्तिकता में भी जो आस्तिकता है, मैं उसका आदर करता हूं, उसका सम्मान करता हूं। वो जिस आत्मविश्वास से नास्तिक होने की बात कहते हैं, तो मैं उनसे कहना चाहता हूं वो सचमुच में नास्तिक नहीं है। जिसकी आस्तिकता है, जिसका विश्वास है, वो नास्तिक कैसे हो सकता है? विश्वास किसमें है ये बड़ी बात नहीं है, विश्वास है या नहीं। हमने समाज के बहुत से बड़े वर्ग को विश्वासहीन बना दिया। लोगों ने हथियार नहीं उठाए। वेद पढ़ने के दरवाजे बंद कर दिए। इसलिए हम पादाक्रांत हुए।
Dear students, we have already studied in previous chapter that Rajput rulers did not trust each other. They were continuously fighting with each other for supremacy, and they could not join hands with each other to defend India from the rivals. These circumstances attracted Turks. Now, the question arises, who were Turks? Turks were guards. They were professional soldiers Abbasid caliphs of Baghdad recruited them, means they appointed them. By the end of 9th century, the power of caliphs weakened. Some of the Turks asserted their independence from caliphs. Means Turks started taking over the power slowly. They became governors of the provinces. One of those governors conquered Ghazni in Afghanistan. He started a new lineage of rulers. They became famous as Ghaznavis. So, dear students, it is very much clear that Turks were appointed by Abbasid caliphs to take advantage of the political instability in India. But in long run, Turks became more powerful than caliphs and they declared themselves independent. Mahmud Ghazni was one of those Turks who declared themselves independent. Now, we will learn more about Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud Ghazni was born in 971 AD. He became king in 998 CE. He was very ambitious person. He wanted to make Ghazni, which was a small hilly, a poor region, he wanted to make his area a powerful empire. So, he decided to invade northwest India, where Gurjara Pratihara ruled. You can say weak successors of Gurjara Pratihara ruled. He wanted to take advantage of the weak political condition of Gurjara Pratiharas. He gained control of Afghanistan and Khorasan. You will be surprised to know that Mahmud Ghazni attacked on India 17 times. 17 times in 27 years. He plundered towns and temples in North India like Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura and Kannauj. His most destructive attack was done against Somnath temple. This temple was situated on sea coast of Gujarat. Mahmud Ghazni broke the idol of Somnath and looted property worth 20 million rupees. 20 million rupees. So basically it is very much clear that Mahmud Ghazni had three objectives to do for all these things. Firstly, he wanted to make Ghazni a powerful empire. Secondly, he wanted to gain popularity among Muslims. And finally, he wanted to propagate Islam. One, to make Ghazni a powerful empire. Secondly, to gain popularity. And finally, to propagate Islam. The invasions of Mahmud Ghazni had many effects on India. First of all, his invasions exposed a weakness of Indian rulers. Secondly, trade interests also attracted many Muslims to settle in India. They found exposure in India to do trade and so many other things. Thirdly, close cultural interactions between India and Islamic Central Asia also developed. Means exchange of ideas along with goods started. Next, his invasions proved to be a great loss to Indian heritage as he destructed many valuable and artistic temples. His invasions also paved the way for establishment of Muslim rule in India. Here one thing is very important, that Ghazni is remembered as a plunderer. He is remembered as a plunderer of towns and temples in India. But in his own country, he is remembered as a great builder, as he built their beautiful mosques, palaces, libraries, etc. So in India, he is famous as a plunderer, and in foreign countries or in his own country, he was famous as a great builder. So dear students, I hope now you all are able to explain the factors responsible for the Mahmud Ghazni's invasions on India and its effects on India. You can also list the places invaded by Ghazni. Can you name them? Yes, Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura, and very good, Kannauj. Let us recall whatever we have studied today with the help of textbook. Again, I will ask you question and you will try to think upon the right answer. So my first question is, what attracted Turks to invade India? Disunity among Indian rulers. Who were Turks? They were professional soldiers and guards. They were appointed by Abbasid caliphs of Baghdad. The power of caliph started weakening. Those who appointed Turks, they started taking advantage. They declared themselves independent. Mahmud Ghazni was one of them. What did Ghazni decide? He decided to invade India. He invaded India 17 times in 27 years. He plundered towns and temples in northwest India like Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura and Kannauj. Please repeat once again. Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura and Kannauj. Mahmud Ghazni directed his most destructive attack against, it's a temple, good, Somnath temple, which is situated on sea coast of Gujarat. Ghazni looted the property worth 20 million rupees. Main objectives of Mahmud Ghazni were to propagate Islam, to gain popularity among Muslims, and to make Ghazni a powerful empire. Now the effects of the invasions. It exposed the weakness of Indian rulers. It paved way for the establishment of Muslim rule in India. Many traders, yes, they started settling in India. Close cultural interactions developed between India and Islamic Central Asia. And lastly, it was a great loss to Indian heritage. So dear students, you can watch this video lecture again to revise the coming of Turks to India, especially Mahmud Ghazni. Tomorrow, be ready for surprise. Till then, bye bye. Enjoy learning. Thank you.